Hello, my name's Marcelle Palmer. I'm a registered nurse and I've been working at St Barnabas Hospice for St Barnabas House for about 8.5 years now. So I've been working as a registered nurse in palliative care for that length of time, and my title now is Hospice Outreach Project Lead and Schools Lead, because I run a school project as well, as part of the outreach. Yeah, on average it's about 80 people a month. So most of those people, about 90% of those people, have never been on the bus before, and roughly half of them have never had any contact with St Barnabas before. So that's great for us because we know we're kind of touching people in the community that haven't had any exposure to our services before. And an awful lot of the people that come on have bereavement issues, really. About 45% of the people that we talk to have grief and bereavement issues, and they really have not got anywhere else to take that. If you've been supported by a hospice, then there is excellent bereavement support. But if you haven't, you've had somebody die in hospital, things like that, the support out there is a bit sketchy, and that people just don't know where to go. So we can offer one-to-one support on here in a quiet room, in private, and then signpost them on to appropriate services that they might need. So and we visit lots of different areas in our catchment area. We go to roughly about 14 different venues a month. Some of them are busier than others, but the busiest places we tend to visit twice a month. It's a bit weather dependent, because if we have bad weather we can't always go out, so that's a bit of a shame. And the size of the vehicle, we have to park in certain places, but I think we can offer a lot to people. And it might be something simple for us, like how, somebody might want to volunteer and they see the vehicle and that prompts them to come on board and ask about volunteering. So it's a two-way process, really, that we get other things from people as well. Things like donations, often people come and ask about, or our fundraising events. But obviously it's the support and signposting that is the most important for me, anyway, to be able to give the community that support. Quite often, people are quite fearful to start with. It takes quite a lot of courage just to step on if they've got something that they think they might want to talk about. But other times people aren't really always aware that they can talk to us about anything. So that does happen quite often. I have a very poignant story about two ladies who were actually passing and stopped to look at. It was actually not one of the twiddle moths, but a sensory octopus, and they stopped just to talk about that for one of their children. And it transpired that their daughter and sister was really quite ill and was in the hospital. And through those conversations, and the conversation started with the octopus, but actually it went on to be a very serious conversation about the future plans for this lady, because she actually was really quite ill and ended up coming under our care within 6 months. And but nobody had recognised that from where she was being cared for. So those conversations happened purely because of this sensory octopus. So that was an interesting one. I mean, sometimes patients themselves come on who are struggling with things, and their diagnosis, things like that. Who's going to kind of help them with the children, their families, and what services are available for them and all that. And we can inform them of how they can access our services. Quite a lot of people don't know where to go with their grief and bereavement. There isn't. They're not signposted quite often to the right places, and so they can flounder around for quite some years, believing that they should be getting on with it themselves, and not really be aware that there are lots of services out there that can support them and help them. And that's really lovely to be able to signpost them on, and specialist services, especially around child death or stillbirth, or things like that. So they're quite often not aware that those services exist. And sometimes it is just about being to offload and be able to shed a few tears and share what's happened in their life, and be listened to and heard. That's quite often what it takes. We do have people that come back. We invite people back. We obviously can't offer ongoing support in that way, but we're always here for people if they want to come back and update us, and the tissues come in very handy, not just for them but for us as well sometimes.